Good morning, or afternoon, actually. It's noon on Wednesday, so that means we are here for our Wednesday lunchtime live. If you are new to my videos or my Facebook lives, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can visit my blog here, Lollipop Paper and Ink. My name is Lori Pinto, and so if you visited my blog recently, you will see all my recent posts of card projects, information on my clubs or on my online classes, or all the information that you need, and also any kind of Stampin' Up! Promotion, that's all on there too. So, okay, so we're good. I want to make sure that I'm right side up. If you've been with me before, you know that I have a tendency of coming on sideways or upside down. So anyway, today is all about the Tasteful Touches bundle. So this is how our mini classes work. I'm going to demonstrate 3 projects, these 3 cards here, 2 cards, and this one adorable little mini curvy box. And then all you have to do is you can place any order between now and Saturday, late Saturday, this Saturday, which is the 20th, for $35 or more. Use this host code and I will send you the kits to make these 3 projects. Everything that you need except the stamped images, so you can do that on your own, but I would supply all of the DSP, cardstock, if there is any embossing, which there is this time, I can send that all for you. So let's see, we are here. Welcome. If you're here, just say hello, let me know who's out there, but I'll go on with our class, so it won't be so long this time. So like I said, this is all about our Tasteful Touches bundle, and this is from the brand new catalog, and it has beautiful images that we'll be using and gorgeous dies, label dies that you can just use all year for any kind of occasion, and we are going to use a bunch of those today too. So also we'll be highlighting the In Good Taste DSP. And I know I always show this to you. This is how I just have a quick reference to my DSP. This one, actually, I had to make my squares smaller than normal because there is so much. This is like a double pack of the DSP with all of these beautiful patterns. And since this doesn't really do it justice, I just wanted to show you this up close and personal to see it. I mean, this looks like my backsplash in my kitchen, actually. And wood grain, light wood grain, dark stone patterns, textured patterns. I mean, look at this. It's just unbelievable. How they can get this onto paper, these designs. Some of them, you swear that you're actually touching something that's rough. There was one back here I wanted to show you. This one here. I mean, look at that. You think you're touching a painted surface with big splotches of texture on there. So anyway, gorgeous set, and it's a double set. It's 24 sheets, so it's definitely worth it for sure. Okay, so let's start with this one here. And this one I did, it's a little simple, which is good, because I wanted to, actually I used this card for a swap that I was in. And if you're not, hi Nancy, good to see you too. If I'm not, when I'm participating in a swap, if you're not familiar with it, it's you make one card design, and you make multiples of it. So this swap I am in, I made 10 of this exact card. So the idea of this is that I send my 10 cards of the same design in, and I get 10 totally different, beautiful designs to inspire me to make my own, or to use they're mine. I can do whatever I want with them, but it's just the idea, because sometimes I'm sure you know. You look at the catalog and you say, oh, okay, well, yeah, that looks okay, and that looks nice. I'm just trying to find my pad here. But really, when it comes down to it, you're like, you don't really get sold until you see it in action and you see what other people do with it. So, and that happens all the time. All right, so this is my card swap. So it is simple. I have to be careful when I'm making 10 or 20. My last one was 20 cards. I have to make sure that I have enough DSP because it does need to be the same, you know, for each card. And so that's why I used a small strip of the DSP here. And if I was making this for myself or my team or you know, for my friends, I probably would have used a full sheet. So, all right, let's get going with our layers here. And this is just going to be, and all the, I didn't pull it out, but all of the information you can find on the project sheet. And the project sheet is on my blog already. It went out first thing this morning. And it shows you the 3 cards that we made. And then there's a link there to get the project sheet, which has the dimensions and it has all the supplies that you need to do this. So you're welcome to that right off the bat. You can go download that or print it, whatever you want to do today. It's just that if you want the actual kits and the items to make it, you need to. That's when I would send that to you after you place your order for the mini class. Okay, so I'm taking this big, beautiful, bold floral image right from the stamp set, and I'm just going to put that down there. And I'm using full strength. Get that out of the way so it's not so tempting for me to put my finger in there. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to, I'm going to need to mask this a little because I don't want to stamp my branch image over this. So if you're not familiar with if you're not familiar with masking, all you do is you take the image and you just stamp it. And I have, this is a piece of masking tape, a masking sheet, but you can just use a Post-it note and it'd come out exactly the same as this. And the reason I do this is because I can't, oh, I smudged it, but that's okay. This is just for the purpose of stamping it so that we can mask it later. So when I'm masking, when I'm cutting this mask, I'm going to go inside the border a little bit of the whole image because I don't want that white line to show through. And it doesn't have to be exact. You just need to, you just want to make sure that it's not covering it. And this is very mushy. I don't know why. And so anyway, you can just use a Post-it note. The reason I don't use a Post-it, I do, but I have found that when I use the Post-it note, I'm not careful enough to remember to stamp it on the sticky side of the Post-it note. So that is always an issue. It still works. It's just you can't reuse it as much. This I can get a few images out of it by just stamping it. And so the good thing about this, and this is really mushy, I should have stamped off first, is it has the adhesive, and you can just peel it back if you can. And since I have no nails now, okay, so that's it. So it has the sticky side, and that's why it was mushy. I stamped it on the wrong side. I should have stamped it on the white. So I hope I don't mess up my card here. But it's going to work the same because it has the same image, okay? So I'm just going to, is it going to work the same? Oh, no, it's not. The sticky side is out. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? This is just like I do when I make my mistake and I stamp it on a Post-it note. That's fine. We can still work with that. All right, so I'm just going to lay that down here. You get the idea. And I'm going to stamp right over it. Okay, and then I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to, well, if I had the sticky on it, I really have to, oh, I did make a mess. But okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm going to stamp this way, but I just want to make sure that I'm still on the, so I wouldn't have to put my finger down there if I did this the right way first time. All right, that's going to be good enough. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Note to self, make sure you do that on the white side, not the blue side next time. All right, it's going to be fine because we're going to color this in a little bit by using our blends markers. And normally we would use the Memento Black when we're using our blends, but this comes out fine because it's not, you know, I'm not really coloring it hard where everything is going to be in there. I start off with my light. That's just a preference. A lot of people start off with the dark and just give it a quick, and I even like it sometimes when there is some white peeking out. So I'm just going to do this lightly, come back in with my, oh, you know what, I forgot to tell you who shared my video last week for the mini class and what the prize patrol was. I'll do that in just a second. Okay, so here I'm just going in and I'm going back in with my dark petal pink, and I kind of just go towards where the dark lines are, like the veins of the flower. And then I'm going to go back in with my light and I'm just going to pull it up. And you don't think it makes that much of a difference, but it really does. When it all dries, you can just see how it's blended so beautifully. Okay, that's it for that. Hi, Kim. You can't find me? Okay, sorry. I'm over on my page. Okay, so that's good enough for now. So what I did here was, and after I did this, before I had made my other 10 for my swap, I wanted to change that. It was okay, but I just thought, I picked up this little background stamp from, this is from the Forever Fern bundle that we used last week, I believe. This is what my online class is about this month. And I just love this little guy for doing that little extra, it just adds a little extra color. And that's why I'm not so worried about my mess up over there. It's totally okay. Okay, see, it brings your eyes to a different place, and that's all you have to remember. Okay, so that was just my added little spot there, and that's good to go. Now we go back to our layer here, and I'm going to just put some adhesive on here. And put that right there. You see, you won't even, if you weren't watching me make that mistake, you never would have known. All right, I'm going to put this on here, on my base, and then we'll get our sentiment right up on top. So I was saying that sharing my video is always appreciated. It helps spread the word, it helps me get new customers, and it helps other people just get inspired. So I'll just take a quick break. This was the prize patrol from last week, and this was the lovely lily pad. And so Carol Busby is going to get this. Now, let me just say, there were several others that I know shared it, but if you don't write it in the comments, and if you're not, I guess, a follower of my page, I'm not going to have your name so that I know that you shared it. So that's why I encourage you to please, if you do share it, just write in the comments shared. So if I do pull your name for the prize patrol, I could always PM you and get your address. But that's the only way that it can work. So I felt bad that there were really many that shared it that I couldn't pull up your name. So I'm sorry about that. But Carol, I'll get that out to the mail to you by the weekend. So today, if you share this mini class, I'm going to be giving out as the prize patrol the terracotta tile linen thread, the scalloped linen thread, ribbon, not thread. And I love this, and you can use this two ways. I don't know if you've seen me do this, but sometimes I've just cut the border off. If I didn't, sometimes it's hard to make a bow out of the thicker ribbon. So this way, it is, you just trim right across the border, and you have the color ribbon, and it makes a really pretty little bow. So if anyone could share that, I'd be happy to put your name in for that. All right, so we're almost done here. I cropped this out of the, here, one of these. This one here I think I used for that sentiment tag. It's just the perfect size for anything, for, you know, birthdays. All right, I'm using Early Espresso ink again to pull up from the design, and I don't know if this is on straight, so I'm just going to give it a little. Oh, looks pretty good to me. Good enough. All right, I'm just going to stamp this right smack in the middle, and we're done with that. I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Close this. We need some dimensionals, not little ones. We need big ones. Okay. And here we go. We'll put that right on there. So I hope that you're, thanks, Carol. Oh, good. See, I can see now. I see you. I'm glad you caught me too, Kim. I can see now that your names are there. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And then that will make it just so much easier. All right, let me get my pickup tool to get this out. I was using my piercing tool to do this, to get all my dimensionals up, and it was like dulling it a little bit, so I didn't really like that. So I go back to using it on this one, which works just as well. Okay, so now I'm going to add some of these champagne rhinestones, which are adorable. I think they're on back order. I'm not positive, but I think the last time I was checking on one of them. I think I'll put a big one in the corner, like I do here, and pop that up. They're champagne, but they certainly give off the look of the petal pink for sure. Okay, look, we're done with that one. All right, so let's see if I can do the next one without messing up. You never know. I trust myself. Okay, so our next project is this one here, and this one is just beautiful too. I love it. I love the petal pink with the early espresso, and this background, this came from the what is it called? It is called the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, and these are all new. These are all part of the suite, the In Good Taste suite. So so that's what I used on that. Let me get my stuff out here. Okay, so as usual, I do most of the cutting beforehand, so you don't have to watch me do that, but we can just see how it all comes together. All right, so I'm going to take my my embossed piece, and this is another piece of the In Good Taste DSP, and like I said, all of the measurements and supplies are on the project sheet that you can use. And you can always get the project sheet and then refer back here to the video. I usually post it. It gets recorded, and I usually just show the replay on the Facebook page where we are right now. So, okay, let me take this one. And this is the braided linen trim, which I love too. And lately, what I've been doing with it, as you can see here, is I love being able to open it up and fray it a little bit so that it looks a little more rustic, which I love for the because of the wood, right? Get it all to be a little rustic looking. So before I'm going to put that on the base, I'm going to try to make my little bow. I'm not really going to need to make a bow because I'm going to open these up have it add some stuff underneath there too. So just going to make a knot for now and try to make it in the middle. And okay, let's see. And it's all going to be covered up with the ribbon. So, okay. I might have to trim that a little bit. So what I did here, now this I took from, it wasn't from this die set. It was from my next favorite set, these birds and branches. And there are other dies in, like branch dies in the Celebrate Sunflowers, the Sunflowers dies. But I like this one. It just seems so dainty, and I just like that better as far, you know, to pop that up on the over the wood. I felt that looked a little more like shabby chic. So what I'm going to do here, and I did cut it because I didn't want the whole thing. I could use the whole thing. Let's try the whole thing this time. All right, so I'm just going to take this and take a glue dot, and this will be a little bit different than before. And I'm going to put that on here and pop that under. Okay, can't see the glue dot, so that's fine. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take a little bit of my Petal Pink. This is the organdy striped ribbon, and I'm going to do what I was just talking about, what I had done with the on that terracotta tile, but I find it hard to make a bow with these. So what I do is I'm going to cut this one right in the middle, and then this way it'll be thinner, easier to make a bow out of it, and it will fray a little bit. So I think that's big enough. Just one more. Okay. All right, and I have one for my next project too. So I just like to fray this a little bit, give it a little bit of, it just adds a little bit of extra texture. And I'm going to put this under here, and I'm going to make a bow here. And then we'll do some extra fraying there. Okay, well, it's a little short, but that's okay. Here we go. Nope, try it again. Normally I'm sure you've seen me put a glue dot on the bottom, and it might have to come to that, and I use that just to hold it down a little bit, which I can do at the end. All right, so this is nice and small, which is what I want. Okay, now this is where I come in and I just do a little bit of zhuzhing and make sure that the little bows are even. That's all. And then I'll come back and just trim this a little bit here. Okay, so that's good enough for now. So now I think what I'll do is I will go back in and put a glue dot on my on that trim, just to keep it in place while I'm doing my zhuzhing. Okay. Now, so now I come back in. I'm going to cut this a little bit. I think that makes it even. And I'm just going to open it up a little. And see how pretty that is. And I think that just adds so much to it. You can open it up all the way if you wanted. Just stick your, take your pick tool or your piercing tool and just open it up for as wide as you want it. I kind of like it just opened up a little bit so you can still see the threading. But your choice, you see which one you like better. Okay, there you go. All right, so we're all ready to put that onto our base. And there we go. Okay, so this is just going to go right onto the base, just like that. I might have to, I'm not going to worry about that because the sentiment tag is going to go right over that. And you know what, I might make that a little bit shorter so you can appreciate the, there you go. What do you think? It seems like I've been doing that a lot lately. Once I get it in my head, and then I'm like, ooh, how can I fray this? How can I fray that? Okay, so here we're going to stamp. And this stamp is the Just Saying Hello stamp, which is, where? Here it is. I'm using my early espresso again. And I'm going to stamp it towards the right, so that I'm going to cut that off a little bit on the side, on the left, just so that it matches up with my my wood piece. And I'll tell you, the reason I picked this is another part, another sheet from the DSP, which has this beautiful woven part. But I picked this because I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but it is it has pink in it, and I like that. It has just a little hint of pink. So, but what I did was I wanted it to be a little bit more interesting, because it is a big piece. So what I did was I just took a little bit of ink from my let me put this back on here. This is where I make a mess of everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna, this is my aqua painter, and I have a little bit of water here, a little bit left. I don't want it to be too light, because I do want it to show up on here a little bit more than what I have here. And so I'm just going to give it a few dabs. And you could make it as dark as you want. There we go. And I just think that adds just a little bit more interest to it, especially on the wood. Gives it a little bit of a more of a rustic feel. Okay, so that's that. See how simple? Just add a little bit of, it just adds a little bit of texture to it. So I had a tissue. All right, so I will get that later. But so you would just take it, wash this off with a tissue right here. And so it's ready to go for next time. I just try to make sure that I do it first. I mean, before I put it away, because sometimes you might just get so worked up when you're starting your next project. All right, so I did that. I like the way that came out. So I want this to sit like right here. So I'm just going to give it a little trim with our trusty mini trimmer. And this really doesn't. That's why I said I like this so much, because it doesn't really. You don't have to have exact measurements. You can just do it however you want, and that's fine. That works out perfect. All right, let's pop this up with some dimensionals also, and we'll be ready to go to our third project, which is the thanks Maggie, which is the 3D. You know, that's always my favorite. And this one I kind of felt like I was cheating because it was so easy. I used one of the mini Kirby dies from the holiday catalog, which was carried over, and it is still available. So if you bought it for the holidays, then dig it out, because you can use that all year long, and you'll see how fun it was that we used that one. Okay, so this one I'm going to put right here. Just bring it right to the edge. And I was a little careful with my dimensionals, make sure I didn't put one in like right smack in the middle, because I didn't want it to go over the twine. There we go. Where's that little tag here? Okay, let me pull that. And that one. Okay, enough fussing. Perfect. Just needs a little bit of bling, and we're going to add some of my champagne rhinestones. Come on. Come on, baby. All right, you want to turn over? That's fine too. And I always use 3 or 5, usually 3, but always odd numbers for me. I just think it's more pleasing to the eye. And there you go. Okay, isn't that pretty? Number 3. Which one do you like better so far? Well, we'll see, because I think you're going to like this last one. All right, so I wanted to have something that was going to be a little bit coordinating with this one, so you could make a nice little gift set for somebody. So I did this one. This last one is our little mini curvy box, and it's so cute. I just love it. Okay, so how I did that was so easy. All you need is, this is the mini curvy keepsake box. That's what it's called. And this is the die. And it does all the work for you. There's no cutting, there's no measuring. You just cut this out. You need a 6, I think I used a 6 by 5.5. So you don't even need a full 6 by 6 piece. You may be able to use this. This is how it comes out. And you may be able to use these little scraps. So that's how that came. And if you have it, you should pull it out, because it's really so cute. Okay, so what I did first, I'm going to stamp it first, because then we do need to roll it a little bit to make it when it all comes back together. So getting back out my early espresso, and I'm just going to stamp the leaves, 4 of them, up and out, because that's how it's going to show on the little box. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what I wanted to do on this one also was to do a little bit of that splatter. Do a little bit of that splatter paint for this. Oh, I covered it. Okay, so again, I'm taking my water, my aqua painter, and I'm just making sure it's enough in there. I have very little there, but come on. And you're just flicking it. You could actually drop, you know, if you wanted to have droplets, that would be fine too. I just wanted to have very fine, and I'm not squeezing any water in this, because I don't want it to be like blobs of it. I just want it to be tiny specks. One more. Okay. Alrighty. I'm done. I'm done with my little specks there. Okay, so what we're going to do here is burnish on the score lines that are already set up for you. I should be using my bone folder, which I do need, because also it's important to fold back on this line right here, because that will help you. It'll help stand it up a little bit. Okay, so now you take it and use your bone folder to just give it a little idea of where you want to send it, and you want them to roll up. You want them to fold like that. Okay, and let's see. There we go. It just gives it a little help. Okay, and what we'll do here, so that's why it's important to have these little lines burnished so they fit well together. And you just put one on top of the other, and it just kind of clicks right in. Using the bone folder does help for that, so I'll tell you that right up front. Otherwise you might be struggling with it. So okay, so I went ahead and I embossed this, and with the textile embossing folder, and I stamped it. Now I used this stamp. I wanted something really tiny because I wanted to use this adorable little die, and you could use it like as a tag or as a banner. So I wanted to use that, so I did that first, so we didn't have to do that on camera. But I couldn't find something really small that would fit on there perfectly, and I did find it right here in the Lovely You stamp set. This is a bundle also. It comes with a punch, a tag punch. So I used that. I thought that would be great with my card, just saying hello, and you want to cheer somebody up, so you can use. So that's where I got that from. Okay, so really what I did here was I used a little bit of everything. I used a little linen thread just to get things going and just to make a little bow on there. Okay, and you do have to be careful, because you don't want to, which would be so great if I did all this, you wouldn't, and put all my embellishments and all my fun stuff on top, you wouldn't be able to open it. So if you're having something inside there, you do want the person to be able to open it. So what I did was I just did this all separately and made a bow, because I just wanted to have a lot of strands coming out. I can put this on. I can put that on now. I did use, I think I used 2 glue dots. Because it is curved, I wanted to make sure that that was going to be set for good on there. Okay. And so let's just put this right on the side here. But I just want to make sure that, and you could use, maybe it would be better to use Tombow, or just to make sure that it stays on there. It just depends how much action it's going to be getting. So, all right, so I'm going to take, again, I'm just going to take a piece of the linen, the braided linen trim, and I'm going to wrap that around. Oh, first let me show you how I got this little guy. So cute, right? He is from the, oh, I'm losing some. These are called the In Good Taste. They're part of the same suite, the In Good Taste elements, and beautiful cutout, wooden cutouts, and they're perfect for adding to your card or your project. And that's how I started. I should have done that first. I'm going to put this on here, and just to give us a place to, I'm not going to be stamping. Okay, so I have that on there, and make a bow. Oh, I made it too short again. All right, you know what, I'm going to leave that on. And then I took another piece of the the petal pink ribbon that we, I know I just had it. It's probably right in front of me. Here it is. Yep, that's right in front of me. And I just kind of just layering everything on here. And then, as long as the linen thread has got that little leaf on there, then we're good to go. And I can make sure I can add that onto here too. Okay. And I think the whole thing is going to end up on the braided trim. And I think what I did was I'm going to put a little strip of tear and tape, because that is really what's going to hold all these things together. Okay, so we have that. And I have this guy, he might be a little too wide, so I'll just open him up a little bit, just like we did before on both ends. And come on. Okay, and that just gives us a little bit of a base to add to that. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a glue dot for now, but the tear and tape is what's going to be able to hold it all together. I love my tear and tape. I don't know what I would do without that. All right, so I'm just going to put that right in the middle there and put this baby on top. Okay, tie another bow here. All right, half a bow, good enough. We just want the tags, we just want the tails showing. All right, let's take a little piece of the Karen tape, just a tiny piece. And I'm gonna just put that on the back. Or actually I can put it right up here. So again, you have to be sure that you're not putting it on this tab here, because you want to be able to lift that. But it certainly can look pretty on the side there. Come on. Okay. All right, and then I would just put that right there onto my tear and tape. I think I'll go this way so it gets more of a solid piece. There you go. Okay, and then if you want to, you can add another piece of trim. You can open this up, the braided trim, open this up more, add more linen thread. That guy stays there. And you're good to go. So you have two beautiful little favors, party favors, or just little treat boxes, a little pick me up, cheer me up. So that's that. Love that. Love that. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. These are our 3 projects. Let me get this one out. And again, if you want me to send you the pieces to the kits to make all these 3 projects, I would be happy to do so. I place my order on Sunday, so it's all ready to go on Monday. Use that host code, place an order of $35 or more, and you're good to go. One more thing I wanted to remind you of is that there's only 10 more days, 2 weeks probably left to the Stampin' Up! Promotion of getting a free bundle. And all you have to do is purchase the starter kit, and you can have your choice of any free bundle in the catalog, new catalog, and there are over 30 of them. And one of them, I can't remember which one it is $60. So most of them are around $50. So that's an additional $50 of free product that you're adding on to your starter kit, where you're already getting $26 of free product, and you're getting free shipping, which is another 10%. So it's a great deal. It only goes until, this is a Stampin' Up! Thing, so it only goes until the end of June. But I would be willing to chat with you if you have any questions about that. There's so much more to purchasing the starter kit than just getting a new bundle. It's, you know, we have, my team is, we have challenges, we have Facebook, we have Zoom meetings, we have virtual and live meetings, we do swaps together. We travel together. We did travel together. We'll see if we can do that again. But there's so much more, in addition to you getting 20% off on every single product from here on in after you purchase the starter kit. So it's a good deal. Think about it. It's on my blog. I will put the link down below also about that, just if you want to check it out again. But you only have until the 30th. So I hope you can take advantage of that. And if you like this video, I would hope that, I'm glad that I see some sharing going on. That makes me very happy. If you see it on the replay or on YouTube, just subscribe to my channel to make sure that you get a notification that when I'm coming on next, which I usually come on every Wednesday, lunchtime live, 12 noon. Next week will be different, because next week we have, on Thursday at noon, I'm starting a catalog kickoff, and it's a 5-day Facebook party for 5 days, and you can come and go as you feel. You don't have to be there at a certain time. I'll have videos, I'll have make and takes, I'll have an ordering special, and lots of information, lots of samples that I'll have out there throughout the 5 days. So I hope you can join me. you will have to, it is happening on a private Facebook group. So I will put that link to that group, and I hope you can join us because that's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be some giveaways and some make and takes and all that fun stuff. Okay, so thank you again for joining me today and hanging with me, and I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great day. Stay safe for now and forever, but I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.